Welcome back, St. Lucia, and guess what? We have royalty here with us today. Of course, this is Arthur Ale, our Groovy Soca Monarch. How are you today, Arthur?
Doing great. Happy to be here.
And you know what? We are so pleased to have him and thrilled because, of course, he has done a three-peat, our three-time Groovy King. How does that feel?
It feels very good. I'm pretty much happy to have pulled this off, being the first person to do so in the Groovy Soca Monarch competition. It's a great achievement. I think it's basically a stepping stone to even bigger and better things. But for now, I'm just basking in the moment and happy that I could pull this off.
Now listen, as you can see, of course, we're all winding down from Carnival. Now, doesn't Arthur look really relaxed? I mean, he looks very island boyish today, I must say. But, you know, in the moment, you know, when you were waiting for the results, just take us through that until they announce it.
I think just like previous years, there's always a bit of nerves coming in. But I going through the crowd after my performance, almost every corner where I turn, people were like, that's how you take that again. Yeah, man, that is yours. So that kind of gave me a little confidence, you know, going into hearing the results. So I was a lot more relaxed than last year in particular. I remember last year I was really, really nervous coming towards, as you know, it was really tight between myself and CDL. So this year I was a little bit more relaxed, and I guess when I finally heard it, it was just, all right, yeah, man, we do it. One more time. I feel we can ease off now. Yeah.
Now, you know one thing, Arthur, when it comes to you, of course, we know you as Arthur, as the artist, Arthur with Evolution, the band. Tell us about your team, because, you know, you seem to have that winning formula, because we know you have that tremendous support and backbone with your team.
The team has been pretty much the same. The core members of the team has been the same from 2013. I've been working with Danielle Dubois, who's been managing the vibes, and she's also been the creative mind behind a lot of the things that you see happening on stage, as well as Kidal Sonny. You've seen him in the introduction videos for the past few years, and he's also been the one behind some of my videos. He's worked on the Numb video. He was part of the crew for the Who I Am video, and this year we also did that beat, and we've had success with all three of those. So we also have Yannick Plant, who's always been there from way back then, but now he's the one who did the full production of the Wahala rhythm, which is the song that beat has been on.
And it's just mashing. Listen, that rhythm is mashing up the place,
you know. Carnival, right? And we have Youth on Fire Ministry, who has been with us. Those girls have been dancing with us since Jumping Alone, and they've been there. And we decided this year we can't do without them. Although we brought on Fundamentals, which is another great group from Ancillary, Tight Dancing. They won the Jote competition, and we brought them on for the video for that beat. We decided to use them throughout, using them at EDF and then for the finals. So the formula worked for us. And I have to big up also Aidan Octave, who was the co-writer on that beat. It was my first time working with him, but we were kind of concerned, you know, normally it has been Daniel and myself for the past 3 years. But it turned out that the song picked up enough, and we decided, hey, let's save whatever material we have for next year and use what's already picking up speed. So, and it worked out in the end.
Good. Now, what motivates you with your music? Because we know you do some of the writing as well. So where do you get your inspiration from?
I guess it's just the passion. I mean, you speak about experiences and how you feel. You just let it out. Whatever you feel inside, let it out in the music. And I've been doing music for quite a bit of time, and I have this drive to really push St. Lucian music towards the international market. And whenever I go into the studio and do something, I like that it should be of a certain quality and a standard that it could actually be marketed on a wide scale. So that's what really drives me to create a product that's good enough to win me crowns and get me on shows and get my music out there.
Now, you know, another thing about you as a performer is as well that you do put out quality music. You know, every year when people are looking out for certain artists to come out and release music, it's you. And one thing a lot of people may not realize is that the music really drives Carnival. And to be very honest, this year I felt like we had a lack of music. We did have some good songs, but we still had a lack of music. How did you feel about the Carnival season this year from an artist point of view?
I will admit it was a pretty much season. Yeah, that's the best way I could put it right now. People have said that elections may have been the reason why. I would tell you from my perspective, the music that I released this year was not what I intended to release. A lot of the music that I was working on, I wasn't able to complete it and put it out in time. I guess that's my fault. I'll have to take the blame for that. But I think that the music, whereas there was a lot of music, it all came out at one time. As soon as the elections was done, bam, you had almost 60 songs releasing in like 1 week. So the music never really got time to breathe. Whereas you had the Wahala Rhythm, which was released months before Carnival,
Right.
had the time to build up. So I think it's up to us artists to really release the music a lot earlier and pump it in the public ears for a while until they get used to it. So that when the real Carnival season comes down, the 2-3 weeks before the actual parade, they are familiar with the music and they can vibe to it a lot more. I think that's what really affected our Carnival.
Okay. Now this year as well, you ventured into something new because we saw EDF take place, Evolution the Family.
Right.
Tell us about how that aspect of it was for you, because we know that's a newer area.
Right. It was something that I've been wanting to do for quite a long time, and people have been telling me, yeah man, I've had time to do your events and etc. So I've been saying, hey, guys, let's do something, but I want to do it in my hometown. There's already so many events happening in the north, so I want to give something back to the people to say, hey, thank you, because in the past few years, going to Soca Monarch, I've always been like number 1, number 2, so, but it's my Sufa people who've been coming from very early. The rest of the island as well, but particularly them coming in squads and buses to come and support me. So I decided, hey guys, let's do something for the people. We actually we were planning a tour, an island-wide tour that would lead up to EDF, and then Peter approached me to do the Soca Explosion tour, which was to go to the different communities, and I was like, hey, that's the same idea that I had. So we just teamed up and we made it happen, and then culminated at EDF. And when I was thinking of the name, Evolution the Family was just in my head from day one. So we will keep doing men's from Blazing FM, and we teamed up to make it happen. We got on the different artists that we have worked with in the past, calling it The Family, and put on a great production. The show turnout was a great event. The turnout was quite good, despite the terrible weather and First Communion happening in Sufre, but people came out and they supported. They jumped in the rain like a wet fet, and we had fun, man. Trust me, it was a blast, and people have been asking for it again, and we're definitely going to make it annual.
All over my Facebook timeline, I'm so serious. Everybody was just posting and raving about it and asking about it for next year. So is that something we can look forward to?
Yeah, man, for sure. People are asking for it this year, but we'll try and see what we can do. We'll
Twice
be back
in the same year.
No, we can't do that, but we'll be back in Sufre for sure to do other vibes. But EDF, Evolution the Family, is going to be a staple on the Ascension calendar of events for Carnival.
Great. And Arthur, do you still teach?
Yeah, I'm a teacher. It's been 7 years now. I started at Sufre Comprehensive for 5 years. I went to Teachers College, but now I'm at Balata Primary School. Yeah.
So how do you balance being an artist and being a teacher? Because, both of them are two jobs that do take up a lot of time.
Yeah, they do, but I just do it anyway. I mean, when I tell myself that I'm not bothered about, for me, time is basically an illusion. Anything you want to make happen, you will make it happen. It only seems difficult, depends on the way you look at it. And it's been something I've been doing for quite a long time. I went to when I was at DTEMS, I was already in Matrix Band, so I had to balance doing that. So then the teaching is not really much that different from actually being a student. It's the same amount of commitment that you have to make towards it. And I just put my mind towards it and just make it happen. And though it takes up a lot of time and energy, I try not to complain too much and make it happen.
So with your schedule, and you're a teacher, and you're an artist, and you're a songwriter, you wear many hats. What do you do on your downtime? What do you do to relax and have some fun?
There's not much time for that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm very serious. But I do go out and have a good time, go for a lime every now and then, go to a little fete when I can, just go for a lime. Like to just go on the rocks by Groovy side there, chill. Or just go to the movies, relax. Otherwise, sometimes I just rather stay at my home and dig in music or Netflixing or something like that. That's it.
Netflix and chill, right?
And cricket is my vibe. So I love cricket to the bone. My name is not Arthur, by the way. My name is actually Elijah.
Really?
That's something, yeah. People don't know that. I've had 1 million checks written in Arthur Alley and I had to have them redo it.
Are you serious?
I'm very serious, yeah.
So Arthur, then, where did Arthur come from?
Well, growing up, me and the boys in the area, we always used to play cricket on the street, and each of the guys would select a cricketer's name, right? So I was the youngest one in the squad at the time. So most of the guys would take the Lara and the Shonda Paul and the bigger names in the game. But so I was left with Keith Atherton. I liked his style at the time too. Spin bowler, nice fielder, and my mother used to get those conflicts boxes with those cards, and he was always one I would get often. So I decided to call myself Atherton. Okay. And then eventually that shortened to Arthur. And one of the guys who was playing with us, he went to school with me. So he started to call me Arthur at school. And then it just stuck throughout from primary school to secondary school until people thought that was my real name.
So eventually Arthur just took over and put Elijah in the back.
Yeah, and actually when I met Christopher Hunt, when I got into Tempest in 2008, he was like, Arthur you take it in it, man. Let's get a name. We sat there, we fought for so long, we couldn't think of a name. So in the end, Arthur. I went, after jumping alone, first runner up, I met Johnny Manuel. And he was like, Arthur, you're a great artist. What's your name? You need to work on a different name. I've come too far to change it now. And then, I mean, right now, people know Arthur. It's become a household name. So instead of the name being standout, I worked the name to become something. Although people associate Arthur, so Arthur Lewis and so many of the Arthurs.
Well, no, you're building that
I made
Arthur
it work.
and brand now. So.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, I can see that you really love cricket if it's that.
Yeah, man. Big up Downtime.
All right. Good stuff. Well, listen, Arthur, what can we look forward to in the future? Of course, we know we'll have to wait next year for EDF, so we'll patiently wait. But what's next in the pipeline?
Music. A lot more music. I'm working on material for Trinidad Carnival, so that's something to look out for. And I'm also looking towards an album. That's definitely, I have enough material to create one, but I want to at least add a bit more new material to it so I can create a package and sell. We're working on footage from EDF so that we can put into a DVD format and sell along with the music. So you can look forward to that, as well as events. Look out for the band and many different events coming up. We have Pop Fest next week. So a lot of vibes happening with us. So traveling, hopefully. I've already been getting some calls after Soca Monarch. So hopefully you can see me in a city somewhere.
All right.
So yeah, that's about it.
Well, you know what? First, just keep following you, Arthur. Let people know where we can find you on social media, etc.
Right. On social media, you could find me on Facebook, Arthur Ale. That's ARTHURALLAIN. You can check out the page, which is facebook.com/evolutionhd. And Evolution is EVALUCIAN. On Instagram at ArthurLucian01 and Twitter at ArthurLucian. I don't tweet much, but I'm there anyway.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm still trying to catch on to that. Well, I'm new to Instagram too, so, but hey, there's no reason for you not to follow Arthur. Again, a proud St. Lucian artist right here with us. There's so much more to come, and of course, we're going to be following him. You better start traveling for true, because we're going to start following.
For sure,
all right.
sure.
So let's keep it locked. Big things still coming here with Arthur. And of course, you're watching This Morning. We'll be right back. Welcome back, St. Lucia. Thank you so much again for joining. Now, if you're like a lot of us, or you're a real reveler and you just could not get enough carnival, I have Miss Zena George here with us, hailing from Miku, because guess what? Miku has their carnival parade, and that's going down on July 31st, correct?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Zena is on the committee, so she's going to tell us a little bit more about Miku Carnival.
Okay. This is our second carnival. We started last year. We've had it before in the past, but there was a long break. So we started again last year. So officially, you could say Miku Carnival started last year. This is our second year around. And last year, we only had the Parade of the Bands and Juve. So what we did this year, as a committee, we formed a general committee, of course, with the various positions, and we added a few more activities to our calendar of events. So this year we have our Carnival Queen Show, we have our Soca Monarch, we have our Kiddies Carnival, we have our Adults Parade, and of course our Juve.
Nice.
Yes.
So, okay, with the calendar of events, because this is pretty interesting, I'm even surprised you guys have your own Soca Monarch competition.
Yes.
So if you can tell us a little bit of what's going to be there to look out for in each of these events.
Okay, so for our Queen show, we have 5 beautiful ladies contesting for the first ever Miku Carnival Queen.
Oh
so
wow,
yes.
first time.
So we're creating a bit of history in Miku.
Nice.
Yes, so we have 5 beautiful ladies for the Queen show. For our Soca Monarch, we were looking at about 15 competitors, both male and female.
Wow.
So we're giving you a little of both. And of course, we have a few big names like Pepe, General Bakes in there as well. For our Kiddies Parade this year, we're portraying the national symbols. So you have the Amazon versicolor, the hibiscus, the national flag, and so on and so forth. For our Juve, well, we're expecting it to be bigger and better this year because last year I could tell you it was a bang.
Nice. Yes. Somebody was here and they spoke about it and they said they got such a big review and they're expecting that more people
just like
come.
our carnival. Our carnival last year, actually, we got a lot of reviews, not only from persons in Miku, but persons from outside of Miku. And that's another huge thing for us. And anytime this time of year comes around, we have a lot of persons anxious to come to Miku Carnival, although it's only our second year, but we have a lot of people anxious to come down to Miku for Carnival and Juve and so on and so forth.
Nice. So what makes Miku Carnival a bit different, of course, from the other communities that have their carnival?
Well, for some, they would say just the atmosphere in Miku. When they hear Miku, they know Miku people know how to have a good time. So when they hear Miku Carnival, it's like, I have to be there. Just the atmosphere and the people in Miku generally.
Nice.
Yes.
Now, we do know that, of course, as you mentioned, you're making history and the Carnival Queen pageant for Miku is taking place.
Yes.
So tell us about when it's happening and give us a little bit more info on the ladies.
Well, our Carnival Queen show will be taking place on Saturday, this Saturday, the 23rd of July at the Tiroshe Multipurpose Center, and our kickoff time is 8 p.m. Yes.
Right. So and not St. Lucian time 8 p.m. because you
not
know
St. Lucian time.
Lucians
Miku time 8 p.m. Miku, not St. Lucian. Miku 8 p.m.
Great. With the carnival now, of course, it's the second time round, and I know the committee seems to be well structured.
Yes.
You know, what are some of the challenges you find that you all face in, you know, just even putting together all the events and everything leading up to that day of the parade?
A few of the challenges we faced, I would not say we had challenges per se. I would call it experience. Because, like I said, we have subcommittees. So within the subcommittees, we have about 5 persons per committee. So they help each other. They work together to ensure that everything turns out like we planned. So instead of challenges, I would say we have experiences as a committee.
Nice. And how do you find the support? Because I know you mentioned that you've seen persons from outside of Miku coming in.
Yes.
So even with regards to just people participating or coming and spectate and maybe even support in terms of sponsorship, how's that coming along?
The support has been really, really great. Not only from persons in the Miku community, but also persons outside the Miku community. And we would go from maybe Dennery down to Labrie. Yes, we also have persons from Castries who comes all the way up to Miku for our carnival event. So I would say that the support is really, really great from persons outside of the Miku community.
And is there any particular reason that it's being held after the National Carnival Parade? Was that strategic?
I wouldn't say that it was strategic. When we came along last year, we started off very late. When we decided to do it, it was after. So I think coming into this year, we just decided to keep it after the carnival, because when you have nationals, you have a lot of people from outside Castries going down to Castries to just view the national carnival. Yes.
Okay, great. Well, you know what? We're going to be wrapping up right now, but before we go, Zena, just tell everybody right now in St. Lucia who's watching why they need to follow Miku Carnival and, of course, be there on the 31st.
St. Lucia, if you like to have a good time, if you like Bacchanal after Bacchanal, the place to be on the 31st is Miku. So please, come on, come all, come support. I could guarantee you that you will have a great experience.
Perfect. Well, listen, she sold me when she said Bacchanal after Bacchanal. So if you have Carnival Tabanca, then we know on the 31st we have to be down in Miku.
Yes.
And of course, don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we actually have some of the beautiful ladies who are taking part in their Carnival Queen pageant.
Yes.
So don't go anywhere. You do not want to miss them. Welcome back, St. Lucia. You are watching This Morning, and I'm your host, Sheila Mendes. And as I did promise, you can see we have two beautiful young ladies here with me, and they hail from Miku because they are taking part in the Miku Carnival Queen pageant. And if I should add, it is the first ever. So they are part of history in the making. I have Flila Corbinier and I have Nashua Seri here with me. How are you feeling, ladies?
I'm feeling
Great.
And how does it feel? I mean, this is going to be something that makes history in your community. So how does that feel for you?
Well, this is actually my first time partaking in a pageant, and as it's the first pageant taken from Miku, I feel really happy that I'll be part of that. Yeah.
Great. And how about you, Flo? How do you feel?
This is my first time taking part in a pageant show, and this is also the first time Miku is having a queen show, and I feel proud to be one of the contestants taking part in Miku's first queen show.
Great. And how did the selection for the ladies take place? Was there formal auditions, or did they just select people? How did that happen?
They selected us.
Okay.
They selected us. Yes.
And for you all, of course, being first time taking part in a pageant, you know, what is it that they were looking for, you know, that made them select the ladies that they chose for this first ever competition?
I'm guessing they were looking for girls who were ready to have a change, ready to be able to use that platform to be role models for other girls, I'm guessing. Yes.
All right, nice.
Yeah.
Now, the show is on Saturday. That's this Saturday.
Yes.
How have the preparations been? And I'll ask that for both of you. So whoever would like to go first, go ahead.
It has been really hectic getting from work, time off from work, to make time for practice, rehearsals together with my chaperone, and as a group for our numbers, we're doing a group number for introduction and swimwear as well. So that has been a bit challenging for me getting to manage my time. Yes.
And sleepless nights and
Yeah.
all these heels 24/7.
The price of beauty, right?
Yes.
Great. Now, for the other ladies competing, how many of you are there all together going up for the
Five.
Five of us.
Okay, nice. And how has the relationship been between all of you all? You know, how has it been? Have you guys had bonding time? Any activities to do together? Or is it just that every individual right now is just really focusing on what they have to do?
Well, I've known four of them, including her. Well, it's three, and her. We grew up together, so it wasn't any difficulty to say mixing our personalities together. But there was just one, but we're all hanging out together, laughing, making
Getting to
jokes
know
and
each other
whatnot.
better.
Yes.
Nice. And what do you think so far, being part of the pageant, are you learning from this process as well, especially since, you know, it's first time in pageantry for you all?
This experience has been a great experience for me in terms of growth and time management. Yeah, it has helped me build up my self-confidence and pride.
Great. And with the competition, what are going to be the different segments that will make up the show?
Well, we're starting off with the introduction, then we'll move on to the talent. We have the costume,
And
then we have swimwear, evening gown, and then the interview.
All right, great.
Yes.
And you know what? One thing we always see in pageantry, a lot of people get nervous when it comes to
The
your
interview,
interview segment.
yes.
How do you feel about that? And how are you both preparing for that part?
I am really nervous. They're taking the questions from our bios, so I have been practicing questions. I think the judges would ask me, and then we'll find answers, hoping there would be one of the questions that the judges would ask on the night.
Nice. So what about you, Fleur?
Well, this is really the same thing because we had a few sessions where we practiced and
Well, I mean, at least hopefully the good thing is it's gonna be from your bio.
Yeah,
So even
so it
if
won't
they
be-
pull a wild card and send you something you did not prepare for, it's still
still have
about
an
you.
idea
So
of
it might be easier for
To
you to
answer,
just
yes.
come up with something.
Yes.
And a lot of people, I've been in a pageant when I was at the St. Joseph's Convent, so I know some of the preparations and you know how much time it can take and how nervous it can be. So a lot of people just really don't know the pressure, you know, when it comes down to being there on the night and the competition is unfolding. So with you all now, of course, being again the first pageant, it also seems like, you know, there's a lot at stake with this competition.
Yeah.
Do you feel pressured by it being the inaugural pageant here, or
No.
No.
Not at all.
great? And where can we first of all get tickets, and what date and where's the venue going to be?
Well, the pageant is on the 23rd of July at the Tertiary Multipurpose Center in Miku, and it starts at 8 p.m. Persons can get tickets from us contestants and the members of the committee as well.
Okay.
Yes.
And is there anywhere on like social media that we can follow to get information on the pageant as well?
We don't have a page for the pageant itself, but we do have a general page on Facebook. You could log on to your account and search for Miku Carnival Committee. And there you'd get information about everything.
Okay, so even like the calendar of events
Yes.
for the competition.
Yes.
And is it correct that there's a theme as well in general for the carnival in Miku this year?
Yes, it's annually.
All right, great.
Yeah.
So listen, everybody, Miku has a lot to offer. We have just 2 out of the 5 beautiful ladies who are going to be competing on the night. Again, that's this Saturday.
Yes,
And
that's
it's
right.
going down at 8 p.m. So if you're looking for a lime or something to do, then now you know what there is on Saturday. So head down there, come out and support the ladies. Of course, come be part of the history. It's the first time ever having the Carnival Queen pageant for Miku. So it's going to be really interesting to see, you know, who's going to come out as the winner. From what I can tell, we already have some really strong competition because these ladies are definitely beauty and brains. So come out and support.